I guess we should start with what is the AIP? What did you find out about them?
Well, what we've known about the AIP for some time is that they were basically the Alaska contingent of the Patriot movement, which in the lower 48 states manifested itself as people who formed militias, tax protesters, constitutionalists, and that sort of thing.
Not comparing them to actions, but comparing them in terms of ideology. Not actions, remember, but ideology. Are they similar to the group that blew up the Murrah building?
Well, that was, of course, that was an individual lone wolf who was associated with the Patriots, but yes, they basically come from the same sort of ideological background. That's correct.
Are they dangerous?
Potentially, mostly when they feel that they're being threatened. But for the most part, they're a pretty benign organization as far as that goes.
But they believe in not being a part of the United States. They want to separate from the United States. And from reading Mr. Volger's comments and others, they, fair to say, despise the United States government?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say. Even today, that's pretty much a standard feeling in the AIP.
Todd Palin was a member of this organization. Is that correct?
That's correct, although when we talked to Mark Chryson, who was the AIP's chairman between 1997 and 2002, and who was a pretty good friend of Sarah Palin's, he described Todd Palin's activities in the AIP as being pretty low level. Basically, he signed up, joined the party, and then wasn't active at all.
Sarah Palin was not a member of this organization, at least not in terms of anything we've seen or anything that you've written about. However, she does have some ties to either members or its causes. Is that correct?
That's correct. When she was both a city councilman in Wasilla as well as the mayor of Wasilla, she was pretty closely associated with this faction. The AIP faction in Wasilla. Mark Chryson, the AIP chairman, lived in Wasilla, and there were some other people involved in city politics at this time as well, including a John Birch Society activist named Stephen Stoll. And Stoll and Chryson tended to work in concert in promoting sort of far-right agenda items before the city council, including they took down a local gun control ordinance that Palin was actually involved in coordinating their appearance before the city council in order to kill it.
So when she was mayor of Wasilla, did she actually help somebody become part of her city council based on their affiliation or the fact that they were a member of the party?
Not so much that it was Stephen Stoll that she attempted to appoint to the city council. Actually, as one of her very first acts as mayor, the very first city council meeting she held as mayor, she tried to put Stephen Stoll in one of the two seats that was vacated by her election and another city councilman's.
And he was an AIP member?
As far as I know, we're not sure if Stoll was an AIP member. He may well have been, but he was very closely involved with Mark Chryson. The two of them worked together. And what we do know about Stoll was that he was involved in promoting John Birch Society activity in the area.
And John Birch Society you would characterize as how, for members of our audience that don't know who they are?
Well, John Birch Society is basically a far-right leaning organization that has believed in conspiracy theories involving first the supposed communist conspiracy to overthrow the government, and then in the 1990s promoting the notion of a new world order conspiracy to destroy the United States government. And in that respect, they were very closely affiliated with patriot groups like the AIP and the militia of Montana and outfits like that.
Got it. We're going to do this now. We're going to continue this interview because there's certainly a lot of stuff to get to, certainly involving someone who now could be the next vice president of the United States. And there's some video I want to share now with our audience. We're going to look at it as you and I are off the screen, and there she is. This is a personal message from Sarah Palin as governor of the state of Alaska to the AIP. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Neiwert's comments on it, and we'll let you listen to it as you watch it in full. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So as your convention gets underway, I hope that you all are inspired by remembering that all those years ago, it was in this same city that Alaska's Constitution was born. And it was founded on hope and trust and liberty and opportunity. I carry that message of opportunity forward in my administration as we continue to move our state ahead and create positive change. So I say good luck on a successful and inspiring convention. Keep up the good work, and God bless you.
All right, as we understand it, that was 2008. Let's bring Mr. David Neiwert back in with Salon.com. Mr. Neiwert, we understand that she also actually attended in person the convention in 2006 and 2000, right?
I'm not so sure about 2000. We haven't confirmed that, but certainly we know she was at the 2006 convention because she was campaigning there for governor. And the AIP did not have a gubernatorial candidate that year, and its members essentially endorsed Sarah as their party's standard bearer.
You heard moments ago when I read to our viewers this comment that came to us from the McCain camp. They were watching this conversation that you and I were having, and they say this would be no different, quote, than if your network ran a piece questioning Senator Obama's religion. Is this in any way a religious organization, the AIP?
Not at all. It's purely political. It's secular. Some of the members are very definitely fundamentalist Christians, but the AIP itself is not involved in religious issues, except to the extent that it's involved with the Constitution Party of the United States. This is the larger national umbrella that they organize under, and the Constitution Party is definitely a theocratic party.
Why, let me ask you, why do you think the American people should know about this?
Well, a couple of reasons. One of the things my partner on this story, Max Blumenthal, points out is that the AIP has specifically had a program of infiltration aimed at getting members and their sort of camp followers promoted within the other political parties, and obviously the Republican Party is a lot closer in Alaska to the AIP than the Democratic Party is.
Are they responsible for her ascendance then, in any way, or?
We have no evidence of that, but we do have the chairman of the AIP back in 2004 talking about Sarah Palin as an example of the kind of person that they want to have rising through the ranks and infiltrating other parties.
Infiltrating. Interesting choice of words. David Neiwert with Salon.com. My thank you, sir, for taking time and taking us through this investigative piece. And regards to Max Blumenthal, who I know was your associate in writing this as well.
Thank you.